Hello, this is Robert. I'm a tax attorney here at TRP, and we're going to go over frequently asked questions regarding unfiled tax returns. And here's the first one. What happens if I do not file my IRS returns? Depends on the situation. Technically, the IRS can file a substitute for return for you, which is basically a tax return the IRS puts together based on the data reported to them. If you are single with only yourself as a dependent, withheld the right amount of taxes, meaning you claim single in one or single in zero, good chance you're not going to owe anything. And there's also a good chance they might just skip doing the substitute for return anyway. If you do not withhold enough taxes, or you're in a situation where you're claiming some other dependents, say you're claiming single in four, the IRS is going to prepare the tax return most of the time as you being single and one, and that's going to result in a debt. If you were going to get a refund, the IRS will also probably just skip the return and you get nothing. If you are self-employed and got 1099s out there, you will probably get a substitute return that results in a tax debt way larger than it should be, because they're going to be taking the total amount of those 1099s and not including any expenses. Second question, can I get a refund on a late filed tax return? Yes, but you only have 3 years to get it from the time it was due, including extensions. Question number 3, can the IRS freeze a refund when I have unfiled tax returns? They can, and they're more likely to if the data shows that your unfiled tax return is more likely to owe a debt. They can hold it, the time is about 6 months, and they may end up just doing a substitute tax return for you and then applying the refund to that unfiled tax return. Question number 4, can I go to jail if I do not file my tax return? Technically, yes, they can. But in practice, they rarely send anyone to jail for not filing tax returns. Typically, the IRS just ends up doing the tax returns for you at some point in the way of a substitute for return. Question number 5. What is the statute of limitations on late filed returns? There isn't one, but typically the IRS only goes back 6 years. Unfiled returns may get assigned a 140 code. And if so, that means eventually they will file the tax return for you. If it doesn't have that code, usually nothing happens and they're going to skip it. Question number 6. What happens if I miss the notice deadline to file my late return? Most of the time, not much. If you send it in, they'll usually just reroute it to the most relevant address. To be more efficient, you can call the IRS and ask where to send it, because sometimes after you miss a deadline, your unfiled tax return case gets moved to another office. If you already have a debt and miss a deadline and your case is in collections, you should call the IRS collections department or the individual collections agent assigned to your case and let them know it's on the way. Or you can hire someone to handle your case and take it over for you. Question number 7. Can I file a tax return after the IRS files a return for me? Meaning after they did the substitute for return. And the answer is yes, but you probably want to contact the IRS, or if you have a representative, they should contact the IRS and find out the right address to send it to. Because if you send it to your regular filing address, it's going to get forwarded and it might take a little bit longer to process. Question number 8. What penalties can the IRS assess on a late filed tax return? If there's a balance, they will assess failure to file and failure to pay penalties. If there's no balance, you owe nothing. And check out our tax help guide for information on how to get a first-time penalty abatement, and we'll have a link to that below. Question number 9. Can I get penalties removed when I file a late tax return? And the answer is yes. There are 2 ways to try to remove a penalty. One is called the first-time penalty abatement, and you'll see that, as mentioned, in the tax help guide linked below. The other is getting a penalty abatement based on reasonable cause. Now, these are much harder to get than most tax relief salespeople will make it sound. They actually are mostly denied, and you need really good reasons to get that reasonable cause most of the time. Question number 10. Do I have to pay the amount owed when I file my late return? No, you do not, but you will want to get your case into some type of status. If it's something you cannot pay off at once, you want to put it into a payment plan, currently not collectible status, you might want to look at an offer in compromise, and you can check out our tax relief video linked below that kind of shows you where to start on that process. Number 11, is there tax software to file prior year returns? Yes. Most software will have old tax returns on it, and you can also get the old IRS forms and fill them out manually, and we'll have a link below on how to find those forms. Can I e-file a prior year return? Tax preparers with the appropriate software that's connected to the modernized e-file system can do that, but people submitting on their own or preparers not using software connected to that modernized e-file system need to mail the prior year tax returns in manually. And I recommend sending them certified mail with return receipt, and get the returns separated in their own little envelopes and labeled with the tax year, to then put them into a larger envelope and send it that way. If you just put them on a stack of paper, good chance you're going to lose some of them. Question number 13. How can I get my IRS account and wage and income transcripts? Well, you can use what's called TDS, the IRS's online transcript delivery system. People always get problems with getting that authorized though, and sometimes they just can't get through. And in that case, just call the IRS, or you can visit a taxpayer assistance center and get the transcripts that way. Question number 14. When does the IRS require more than the past 6 years to be considered compliant for filing? Well, for individual returns, the IRS usually applies the 6-year rule unless it looks like there would be significant past liabilities beyond those 6 years. Typically, if it's one of these types of cases, it's one that's also assigned to a revenue officer, which is an individually assigned IRS collections agent. Question number 15. Who do I call at the IRS about past due tax returns? For individuals, you can call 800-829-1040. This number often can send you through automated loops, so check out the link we got listed below for information on how to actually get to someone. For business accounts, you should call 800-829-4933. If the IRS has already done a substitute return for you, you should call 866-681-4271. For cases already in collections, if there was a specific phone number sent on one of the letters, call the number listed on that letter. Or you can call 800-829-7650 if you're unsure where to call and your case is in collections. At some of these numbers, you might get redirected to another office, so be expected to sit on the phone for a little bit. For more information on unfiled tax returns, check out our video linked below. If you're doing your case yourself and you need help, check out our free tax help guide at trp.tax/taxhelp. You can also ask questions in our comments and one of our expert tax attorneys will answer. If you would like a consultation with one of our expert tax attorneys, you can go to trp.tax/start, or you can call 888-515-4829, that's 888-515-4829, and schedule your consultation. Thanks for watching.